It was that was the most beautiful thing I have heard. I swear to.
I agree.
Me too. Ooh, I wanna be like you.
In between, and welcome to Super FanCom. This is our first retrospective. Tonight we'll be going over the main roster of Disney animated movies. I'm RetroRic, and oh golly, what a panel we have. I'm FanboyGif is MIA right now, so we'll leave him aside. But I'm joined by the king of the swingers, the jungle VIP, Deej.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Oh,
I want to be like you.
And looking for the white rabbit, we have Gearhead Alice.
Hey, guys.
And as a special guest, she's from It's Like a Podcaster or whatever. She's one dynamite gal, everyday rogue.
Hey, sugar.
So let's dive right in. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a special trailer at the end. We'll stick around for that. If not, and you're just listening to this on SoundCloud, it'll be in the link anyway. Okay, so let's start this off with from December 21st, 1937, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The first one, I watched it. It was okay. It's on Freeform a lot whenever they're not showing the Harry Potter marathons.
Oh, just rename it the Harry Potter channel already.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Snow White, guys?
Well, that was actually not only my first Disney movie. According to my folks, that was actually the first movie I ever saw, period, in theaters. Like, and of course, I'm not talking like when it was first released. I mean, it was like when Disney re-released it.
Right.
So you're not that old.
Yeah, no. When I first told someone that was my first movie in theaters, everyone's like, "How ancient are you?" I was like, "I'm not that old, Jesus."
I feel like we have that conversation in every podcast.
It always is. It's either they think I'm too old, or most likely in the real world, people don't believe me how old I am. I'm always the only one who gets carded at like bars or whatever.
Same.
It's always like my friends would go to a bar. It's like, come in, you. ID right now.
Yep.
Every time. It's like, I have a goatee. He's smaller and like clean shave. He looks like he's 12.
What about you, Alice?
I don't have any feelings towards it. I think it's a good movie. I think the little dwarves are so cute and they have really cute names, and I like the story. I like it.
What about you?
Oh gosh, I have so many things I want to say about this movie.
Go ahead.
So this is Disney's first movie, and right from the beginning, it's a hit, which is great for them. So, taking in context the time period, it is 1937. There are definitely different gender norms at that time, but this movie really sets the tone and acceptance for female gender norms in their film. So you think of Snow White, who's actually 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, oh yeah, this is beautiful. Women are beautiful, helpless, gullible, and homemakers. I don't know if you guys have any comments on that part.
No.
Well, it was a different time. It was the 30s, so they were more homebound at the time, but I do see what you're saying.
It was honestly the 14 years old thing that kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
When I found out about that, because I had the same reaction when I found out that Sailor Moon was 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with just entertainment and this fascination with the high school age. It's just really weird. But also, that's their first movie, and it's also the introduction of this weird stepmother dynamic. I don't know why they hate on stepmothers so much throughout Disney, but
Disney hates parents, period.
Yeah, this is true.
let's be honest with each other.
But this first one, her stepmother is trying to kill her. So essentially, Snow White has no family and is homeless. And this is like childhood trauma that there's this movie about. She's not even old enough to get a job, and even if she did, she might be found and then killed. So she's really in a pickle, but what I do appreciate about her is she truly makes the best of it. So, like, in that sense, she's really relatable and a good example because she's relying on the kindness of these strangers, and she has nothing to give back but to cook and clean, and she really just dives in with all her heart, and she really enhances the lives of those dwarves, too, which, sometimes she's a little bossy about it, but it's still done with kindness.
Oh yeah, she made a grumpy smile.
Yeah.
I thought it was more like almost like a motherly thing. Like she adopted all these dwarfs and is now forcing them go wash their hands before eating and everything.
Right, but essentially they're giving her a home too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's homeless at 14 years old. Like that is traumatizing. But then, then there's this whole, I'm sure we're going to talk about this way more in the other films too, but this idea of love and romance. So, the prince and her meet for 15 seconds and sing a little song, and then it's apparently love at first sight. And then there's just this general overall message of a woman is helpless without a man and needs a man to come save her and then take care of her and complete her.
Yeah. Pretty much. Alright, moving on from that, we got Pinocchio, which gave us the real introduction of key songs for Disney. Well, Snow White just had Hi-Ho. Pinocchio had When You Wish Upon a Star from Jiminy Cricket, and what would go on to be used in the Avengers, No Strings on Me.
You know what I noticed when I started learning much earlier on about Disney's movies, especially their animated versions of these, is you should never really try to look up what the original story was.
Oh God, yeah.
Because I read the original. I actually looked up the original Pinocchio story. Mm-hmm. It is some of the darkest shit I have ever seen. It's like Pinocchio gets his legs burnt off, or he's getting tortured. I swear to God, he's getting tortured.
Yeah, I've read it too. Yeah.
There's so much I could dive into, and then I actually read the original Little Mermaid, but I'll save that for later. But yeah, Pinocchio is actually probably one of my favorite Disney movies back when I was younger. I just liked it.
I definitely have to disagree with you there. I hate Pinocchio.
It's really not that. It's not that great. It just gave us Jiminy Cricket. That was it.
Well, I think that's why I liked it so much, and I thought the whole scene with Monstro was really cool.
Monstro the Whale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To repeat just remind me, I said as a kid.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on it now, Deej?
I'm not exactly a giant fan of it at all anymore. In fact, if anything, it's on the lower bin. To be fair, it's I'm sure we all liked stuff when we were younger.
Oh, yeah.
There's certain movies that I used to love, and it's I'm not anymore. I mean, and to be honest, my favorite Disney movie of all time keeps changing. It'll go between certain movies. I'll tell you which one it is when we hit it.
I've always been really, really afraid of puppets and just things such as Pinocchio, so I hate it so much.
And Geppetto, for being an Italian man, has a German accent.
Right! Oh my God, so much to say about this one.
And then you have that scary-ass time on the island where the kids literally turn into jackasses. That is a frightening scene when you're a little kid.
Yes, that's super frightening.
Maybe...
It really drives the point home. Disobeying your parents turns you into a debauchery-ridden ass. So how's that?
Exactly. It's here are all the extremes of what's going to happen if you don't listen to your parents. But it never actually happens like that because it's Disney.
I think I know why I liked Pinocchio as a kid, because growing up I used to watch a lot of horror movies, and Pinocchio to me seemed like Disney's own horror movie.
It was like a David Fincher movie.
It's true.
Yeah, I think that's why I honestly liked Pinocchio as a kid so much, because you have to realize I was practically raised by horror movies like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street.
That makes more sense.
I watched the Sci-Fi Channel all the time. That was always the main channel I watched, so I think that's why I liked it. It's Disney's horror movie. Everyone gets transformed. Because that scene where the kid is grabbing Pinocchio and the hands turn the hooves.
Yeah.
That creeped me out as a kid. I was like, Jesus.
I think it's the whole nose growing process too. It just freaked me out. It was very, very inappropriate. There's a lot of inappropriate jokes about that.
Oh yeah, there is.
Fair enough. Of course. But it is very moral heavy. Like, don't lie to others, or people will be able to tell, and it will make things much worse for you. So just listen to your conscience.
Oh, God. Do you remember that Family Guy joke where they talked about Pinocchio's nose growing?
Yep.
That's with the inappropriate joke. That's exactly what I thought of.
Yep.
Did you take the cookie?
And it's all right. And moving on, we got a movie that.
Can I just say one more thing about Pinocchio?
Yeah, sure.
Just on a positive note, like, just, from Snow White, we go from this focus on romantic love, and Pinocchio really turns into this family love. So Geppetto's love and longing for a child. The only thing maybe weird about that is for Snow White was like, oh, you need a man to complete you. Pinocchio could be like, oh, you need a child to complete you, which also isn't that great. And Geppetto is old. Did he, forget that to have a child, you typically need a woman? We don't know a lot of his history. Maybe his wife. I don't know. But what guy wants to be a single dad? That was just very interesting to me. But also, Geppetto never stopped loving Pinocchio, even through his lying and rebellious phase. So it's kind of a little bit of God imagery in that. Geppetto crafted Pinocchio, loved him unconditionally, and just desired for him to come home and be a good boy. So lying is a sin/boundary that is developmentally expected for children to explore, but also, yeah.
Next we got Fantasia, the movie. The only part I cared about was the Sorcerer's Apprentice, which later got parodied in Tiny Toons.
I'm the exact way. Fantasia. The only two things I remember that stood out to me from Fantasia was the Sorcerer's Apprentice and Chernobog.
Right, not Night on Ball Mountain.
I don't remember Fantasia. Which one is that?
It was the one where it's mostly a really long Disney symphony thing. It was all animation.
And that's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I grew up with a Disney family, so we watched every single Disney movie that came out to a certain degree. My parents always bought all the VHS tapes, so I've seen almost every Disney movie at least once in my life. Fantasia, I faintly remember it.
I think I remember watching it once, but I don't remember any details or anything about it.
I remember Mickey thanking the orchestra.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, that sounds familiar, kind of. I don't know.
And
Is this the one with the broomsticks?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's all anyone.
Even if you've never seen the movie Fantasia, everyone knows the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh yeah.
Or if you've played Kingdom Hearts, Chernobog is actually one of the bosses in the first game.
He was pretty easy.
I don't like Kingdom Hearts. I don't really care about that stuff. But yeah, Fantasia was supposed to be Disney said he was we're gonna keep adding on to this every few years, and nothing ever happened. We got Fantasia 2000, which we'll cover or skip. But now we got Dumbo.
Yeah.
I love
Dumbo.
Love the Pink Elephants on Parade song, and that's about it. And I know if GIF were here, he'd bring up the racist crows.
That is super FanCom trademarked.
Yep.
You ain't crow racist.
You may be racist, but you ain't no crow racist.
I like the message behind this one.
Oh yeah.
It's different with the giant ears, and I don't really remember much other than that.
Yeah.
Dumbo with ears.
I hated that song, Baby, Don't You Cry.
Oh.
I hated that. When I think Dumbo, that's the first thing that comes to my mind, because I remember as a kid, I was like, I hate this song. I feel like crap.
It's so sad.
I mean, Pink Elephants on Parade, and maybe We Can Fly. That's also the other song that's most memorable from that. But sadly, no villain. We don't get good Disney villains till later.
When did Dumbo come out?
Dumbo came out in 1941.
Oh, okay.
Did Dumbo need a villain?
Not really. He had the crows. He had the crows.
Fair enough.
Those darn crows.
What do you think the Tim Burton version is going to be like?
It's going to be basically what Elephant on Parade was, just dragged out longer.
Wait, there's a Tim Burton version coming out?
Tim Burton is directing the live-action version of Dumbo.
Yes! I'm kind of excited for that. I didn't know about that.
Oh, they released the model of what Dumbo's going to look like in the live-action version. It actually kind of looks cute, I won't lie.
I'm looking this up right now.
It was on, I think the con's called D23, I think that's what Disney calls it. I have a friend who, she actually works at the Disney World Park. She's obsessed with it.
It's so cute!
Anything Disney does, she's always the first to find out about it, and then she immediately has to tell me what's going on.
Yes.
Then we move on to a movie I'm not a fan of, except for the Animaniacs, when they did Bumper's Mom with Slappy and Skippy, Bambi.
Okay, I have a very sad confession to have to mention about this movie.
Manly Tears?
When I was no. Years ago, many years ago, when I first saw this as a little kid, when the scene with Bambi's mom getting shot. See, as a kid, I didn't know what the hell happened because I was kind of sitting far away from the TV. I was in a whole classroom, and there's kids crying, and I went, "Where's Bambi's mom? Did she get lost? What happened?" What happened? And my teacher right next to me goes, "Yes, sweetie, she's lost. She'll come back."
No.
And then a couple months later, or as I got older, I went, "Oh." So
I think that one. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did not understand or know Bambi's mom got killed the first time I saw the movie. I was like, "Why is everyone crying? I don't get it."
I was just gonna say I thought that was pretty traumatizing. Was the whole Bambi's mom getting shot thing?
Yeah.
Right. Talk about childhood trauma.
Yeah, I think Disney just fed off of childhood trauma, but...
Yeah, they will. Later on, they definitely will.
And that's really all I remember about this movie was that gunshot. It's very, like, coming of age is what I remember, and Thumper was cute, but that's about it.
Oh, I remember when they all got, at the end, when the main three got girlfriends.
The main three.
It was Bambi, Thumper, and Flower. Like Flower got a girlfriend, and he looks back at Thumper. Bambi just goes, "Eh," and just walks off. Like, "Sorry guys, I got a fine lady." Goes off, and you just see Bumper goes, "Huh, women." I saw that scene, or I remember that when my friends are like, each one of them's getting married, and then me and my other friends are just like, "Oh my god."
And I still actually have all the McDonald's toys when they ring.
Oh, so do I.
But then I still have my McDonald's toys from when I was a kid in general, so.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, that's fair. So I have a good number of them. I still have like the Stitch on the surfboards from McDonald's.
Alright, then we go to The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I never got into it, but it's the Headless Horseman, so I automatically like it. You got The Wind in the Willows. Well, it's two parts. First, The Wind in the Willows, narrated by Sherlock Holmes actor Basil Rathbone, who's got such a cool name. And then the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, narrated by Bing Crosby. Anyone ever see this?
I remember I think I saw The Wind in the Willows years ago. Was that with Mr. Toad?
Yeah, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride came from that.
Yes. Okay, so I saw that one, but I never saw Ichabod.
Yeah, it's like a meh film. Either of you two seen it? Alice, Rogue, either of you?
I think if I have seen it, it was like live action, if it exists. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw the actual cartoon though.
Yeah.
With Mr. Toad, was there weasels involved?
That's in the live action version.
I do remember Mr. Toad slightly.
Wind in the Willows did get adapted to a live action movie because there is live action weasels who sing In the Wildwood.
Okay then.
Alright.
I did not see this one.
Yeah. Now we move on to Cinderella. It's a thing. Like Deej just found out when we did Can You Top This? Lady Tremaine is her stepmother's name.
Yeah. No, for a long time I never knew that name, but I'll tell you this much. When I'm at my second job and I'm slaving away packaging and cleaning stuff, I swear to God, a lot of times I hear the Cinderella song, Cinderella, Cinderella,
Yes.
every time as I'm working.
Yeah.
I love it. Jock was the mouse with the red hat, right?
Yes.
Because he is my favorite.
Aww.
There were so many plot holes in Cinderella, though. Like, the shoe fell off, but then it was supposed to fit, and who has to walk in a glass slipper anyways? I'm sure that hurt really badly, but...
And, like, what are the chances she's the only one with that exact shoe size?
Right?
In the whole kingdom.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, just because this shoe fits, you're mine. Alright, dude. Shut up.
Like, he didn't remember what she looked like at all.
And she's only wearing, like, a ball gown. Was she wearing a mask?
No, it was just a ball gown.
She just had her hair up.
So really, you can't tell someone just because their hair was up? That's pretty damn sad.
I call it Superman logic.
Well, at least Cinderella spends more than just a few seconds with the prince, unlike in Snow White. So, yeah. But then, we also get this very odd and specific pattern of childhood trauma with the villainized stepmother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but actually this makes sense in context because Disney had just spent the few years before this making war propaganda films, and this was sort of their last-ditch effort to save the company, so they went back to the beginning, their first success. So we see a lot of the same themes from Snow White that we see here, except what's a little bit new is they're mixing magic with reality. We get the fairy godmother and the bippity-boppity-boo, and...
Yeah, I agree with that. I took a whole class on, like, war propaganda, and we had a whole, in college, and we just had a whole class on, like, Disney propaganda, so I have tons to say about that one, but...
Yeah, ultimately, though, the message still is a little blurred. Like, if you remain kind despite your circumstances, something good will happen? Maybe?
Was this around the same time that Donald Duck became a Nazi?
Yes.
Yes. That was a thing at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Cinderella came out in 1950, so it was just the war was just ending. Then after that, we come to my first hated Disney movie, Alice in Wonderland.
Wait.
Really?
I hate this movie.
Rick, we're in a fight.
I don't know if it's my dislike of most cats, or in preschool they played this every other day.
Okay, you have...
This movie only exists for me because people need space at Hot Topic.
Well, okay, as the girl who's getting a whole leg piece dedicated to Alice in Wonderland, I think I like it a little bit. I like the whole,
Do you shop at Hot Topic?
Shut up, Rick. I like the whole idea of her falling into a different world and just kind of dealing with the craziness inside of her head, and just I personally really like Alice in Wonderland. I like the creatures. The Queen of Hearts is a bitch, but like she's okay, I guess. Just trying to chop off everyone's head, like don't you do that every day?
They gotta paint the roses red.
She's actually kind of silly, and she's a non-parent villain, which is a change.
Rick, we're in a fight one day, I swear.
But
Strong words to say to her. That wasn't very nice.
then we also have the Walrus and the Comforter, which I only remember from the movie Dogma, because it opens on Loki convincing a nun there is no God while he recites the poem.
I actually have no idea what this is.
Well,
Yeah, what is that?
I actually have a clip. I prepared for this. I actually have a clip.
It is not Disney, but it is worth it.
I have a clip. Hold on.
You must live under a freaking rock. Jeez, guys.
Dogma is one of my favorite movies. It was made by my favorite director, Kevin Smith.
Alright, can you see the screen?
There you have it.
Let me get this straight. You don't believe in God because of Alice in Wonderland?
Now, Through the Looking Glass. That poem, The Walrus and the Carpenter, that's an indictment of organized religion. The walrus, with his girth and his good nature, he obviously represents either Buddha or with his tusks, the Hindu elephant god, Lord Ganesha. That takes care of your Eastern religions. Now, the carpenter, which is an obvious reference to Jesus Christ, who was raised the carpenter's son, he represents the Western religions. Now, in the poem, what do? What do? They dupe all these oysters into following them and then proceed to shuck and devour the helpless creatures en masse. Now, I don't know what that says to you, but to me, it says that following these faiths based on mythological figures ensures the destruction of one's inner being. Organized religion destroys who we are by inhibiting our actions, by inhibiting our decisions, out of fear of some intangible parent figure who shakes a finger at us from thousands of years ago and says, do it, and I'll fucking spank you.
The way you put it, I've never really thought about it like that before. What have I been doing with my life? What am I?
Yeah, I know. Listen, my advice to you, you take this money that you've been collecting for your parish, go get yourself a nice dress, fix yourself up. Find some man, find some woman that you can connect with, even for a moment, because that's really all that life is, sister. It's a series of moments. Why don't you seize yours? Atta girl. Atta girl.
Here's what I don't get about you. You know for a fact that there is a God. You've been in his presence. He's spoken to you personally. Yet I just heard you claim to be an atheist.
I just like to fuck with the clergy, man. I just love it. I love to keep those guys on their toes.
So just letting you know, it's not a major spoiler. You find out in the beginning of the movie that the two guys you saw, Loki and Bartleby, are actually angels. The plot of the movie is these two angels. They got kicked out of heaven, and then they find out that there's a way that they can get back into heaven. But if they do that, they're basically breaking one of God's rules, and by breaking one of God's rules, it'll fuck up the universe. So this
I might
girl
have actually heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's a hilarious movie.
Familiar.
It's a hilarious movie. This girl who is like the chosen one, and these two stoners have to go help her to go stop the angels.
Kevin Smith and stoners, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's Jay and Silent Bob. They're going to help this girl. It's a hilarious movie, and what I can't remember his name, but the actor who plays Snape from Harry Potter, Rick. Yes, he's in this movie.
Yes. And God does exist, and it is amazing.
Yeah.
So, yes, you should watch Dogma.
Right. Oh, keep going.
I was going to say, it's a fantastic movie. I highly recommend it.
Alright, next we have one of my favorites, Peter Pan. I love this movie. I even love What Makes the Red Man Red. I don't care. There's also in the stage play Ugalug, which I should have brought up too. The lyric is I will come and save the brave noble redskin, which has now been changed for today's audience, and I will save the brave noble warrior. But as much as I do love Peter Pan, it ain't no Peter Pan the Pirate with Tim Curry as Hook.
Peter Pan, it has one of my favorite Disney songs when they're flying off to Neverland.
Yes.
Wish Upon a Star?
Yeah.
Yes. I love Peter
You can
Pan.
fly, you can fly, you can fly. That I love so much.
Same. I love Tinkerbell, clearly.
Yes.
As her.
Yeah.
Clearly. But I love the movie. It's a little There's some creepy parts in it, just like the end of Lost Boys, but I'll overlook it.
Well, this kind of reverts back to what I originally was talking about. If you look up the original stories of people, because there's a show called Once Upon a Time where Captain
Love
Hook
it. Recommended 100%.
Okay, so you know how I'm talking about how Peter Pan is portrayed as the villain?
Yeah.
And I never understood that why, and then I started looking up like some of the original stories of Peter Pan, and now he's like, one of his nicknames is like he's like the bringer of death or something, like he's taking kids away as a way of like saying like he's kidnapping them like fucking Drifloon from Pokemon. He's taken away and we never see him again. And I'm just like, wow, Peter Pan's a dick. Hook is awesome.
Wouldn't be our podcast if we didn't talk about Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon or Star Wars.
No, it would not.
Plus, we get a whole new, Tinkerbell instead. We get like so much stuff of Tinkerbell, not enough Pan, but it's like all Tinkerbell. We even have sequels dedicated to Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
I loved her. One of her anime movies, The Pirate Fairy.
Yes.
That's a whole other podcast we're gonna do of the prequels and sequels of Disney.
Yes.
I just love how she's a girl and, a fairy, but she's a woman fairy who has, like, an attitude and, like, isn't the typical, like, girl that they try to portray.
Yeah. But
Go ahead.
Yeah, but in order to make people fly, doesn't Peter Pan spank her, really?
Yeah, he taps her in the... Well, he kind of taps her butt and then just has all the sparkle fall in the...
Yep.
Rick, no, stop. You're ruining it.
It's what I do.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, Tinkerbell was a little too... I didn't like her as much, but I did like Captain Hook. I thought he was a pretty good villain. You know, again, sort of like an Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
The almost non-parent type villain, but this time it's a man villain. It's not a woman. So.
Yep.
I loved Smee so much.
Everyone loves Smee.
If you don't, you're Satan.
Yes.
Like. To this day, that scene with the seagulls still makes me laugh.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I always felt bad for Smee. Like he was trying hard, and he would still get shit on.
Yeah, even in the live action movie.
I loved him.
And moving on from Peter Pan, we get an okay movie, Lady and the Tramp. Like I said about Alice in Wonderland with cats, whenever I see anything about the Siamese cats, I legitimately freak out. It's like, I get agitated. It's like whenever I hear or see the music video for Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden, it just freaks me out and I have a panic attack.
I'm totally with you. Those Siamese cats are creepy. Super creepy.
Is it weird that when I was younger, I didn't think the crows were racist at all, but I thought the Siamese cats were racist?
Oh, they totally were.
I don't know. It never registered me with the crows, but as soon as I saw the Siamese cats, I'm like, hey now. It's just, I don't know. Like that to me was like, this is a little racist here.
Yeah, that song they sing, though, gave me nightmares. Like, it's just like, oh.
It's so creepy.
I don't remember the lyrics, but I'll never forget the tune, like,
yeah! Don't do that! Don't please, no!
I haven't seen that movie in years. It haunts me.
I just got really sweaty when you just did that, because I can't be around anyone who...
It's like nails on a chalkboard. If I do it, I'm okay, but if someone else does it...
Yeah, exactly.
I'll try to behave, but however, if we reach a certain Disney movie that I despise with every fibre of my being, I'm not holding back.
Oh yeah, no problem. Then we move on to a movie...
We're going to talk about the spaghetti scene. That is...
oh yeah, we gotta talk about the overrated scene of spaghetti.
Well, like...
What? Was this in Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah.
You don't know the
scene?
I haven't seen Lady and the Tramp in years, but yet I don't remember the original, but I remember the sequel because that was one I mostly recent, but I don't remember the original. I faintly remember the original.
Wait, there's a sequel to Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah, it was about Tramp's son. It was about Lady and Tramp's son. How?
Yeah, I think his name was like Scamp or something.
And I remember and they had also 3 female dogs, and one of them was actually voiced by the same actress who does Phil and Lil from Rugrats.
Oh, cool.
And just joining us now, a friend of mine, second star on the right, until morning, you will find Juno.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to the party, Juno.
Hey, thanks, guys.
So
It's a lot of nightmares.
yeah, we were just talking about just Lady and the Tramp. Any thoughts on Lady and the Tramp for you?
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I will say, personally, as an Italian American, the 2 chefs are kind of an ethnic stereotype, and I don't really appreciate that.
That's fair. There are a lot of stereotypes in this movie.
So then don't go to the cafe in Disney World where it's like a Lady and Tramp cafe, because I remember eating there one time and they actually had these 2 guys dress up as the chefs and they will sing that song.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, at the time as a kid I thought it was cool, but if I go there as an adult I'm going to hate them.
Yeah.
But the spaghetti scene is cute, and
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. That spaghetti scene.
Oh.
I thought it was some. I don't know why I was thinking something
There
else.
you
Like,
go,
what,
Deej.
I'm like, what did Lady talk about? I'm like, oh my god, that scene. Tramp doing the whole scooting over the meatball and everything.
And the noodles and they kiss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
How I'm so ashamed of myself. How did I forget that?
I love
like
that
it's
it was
cute.
Yeah,
But
I love that it was like an accidental kiss. Like they didn't know it was the same piece. Like it wasn't Tramp playing a trick or anything. It was just really innocent and romantic.
yeah, I mean it's cute, but I don't know. Like, although, oh my god, what is one of the dogs in the pound when Tramp's in the pound? The one that sings, he's a tramp.
I love that song.
Yes, I think.
He's a tramp. Love,
Okay,
love.
that dog is a hooker.
Okay, probably.
Totally is. But I think wasn't she voiced by like Peggy Lee or something?
Probably, yeah.
I think. I feel like that was a thing.
Yeah, I love that song. But and also the ending, like this is the first time we're seeing a little bit of what like happily ever after looks like, because they're like puppies and the tramp is all reformed and domesticated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on, we have really the only thing to come out of this movie is the villain, Maleficent. I'm talking about Sleeping Beauty. Because no one cares about Aurora.
Like, does she even have like a character arc? Like,
No. It's just,
Diet Snow White.
yeah.
no, she is.
She's another victim of childhood trauma, being taken from your parents for your whole life, basically. And yeah.
And this
I did-
random guy kisses her.
I did think Sleeping Beauty had one of the coolest fight scenes, though, action scenes from Disney.
Oh yeah. Maleficent turned into a dragon, yeah.
Yeah, or well, that and when the prince threw the sword right into her.
Impaled. Yeah, that's good.
I thought that was I don't know, even I still love that scene. Like, I don't care about the movie, but that scene I thought was one of Disney's most badass moments.
Yes.
And
I
he
will-
wasn't. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I will say that Maleficent, like, she seems so petty.
She is!
Oh, I didn't
Lovely.
get invited to a baby shower. Oh no. What did you guys think of the movie Maleficent?
I loved it. I can't wait for the sequel.
Another movie.
I own it, but I have not watched it yet.
It's not half bad. Her crow sidekick is the best part.
Deej, we'll have to make that an episode.
Which episode?
Maleficent.
Okay, yeah, you know what, we'll do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, right after we do Death Note.
Yeah, oh god. Let's not bring Death Note into this.
Yeah, let's not.
This is a happy place, Rick.
This is a Disney place.
Okay.
Did you introduce? Sorry to switch topics here, but did you introduce them to Communist Mello?
Yes, I did. Communist Mello with his gay boyfriend Matt.
Yes.
Oh dear lord.
That was one of my favorite memes.
Alright, moving on, we got 101 Dalmatians, which Cruella de Vil. That's all. I love the song Cruella de Vil, even though it's wicked short.
It is a good
I loved the look of 101 Dalmatians. I always felt like the art style for that movie was a little different from most of the other Disney movies. Like I felt like it looked a little more outlined, like almost like at times it looked like a watercoloring painting.
Yeah,
at times.
that was the first movie for them to use xenograph. So it is a different art style.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I loved it so. That's why I loved it so much. Like even the characters itself, how the outlines and everything, the way they were done, and their movements, I loved it.
I think it's creepy as hell that she was trying to skin the toy puppies.
Yeah.
True.
Just a little bit, just a small fact.
Well,
Just a
didn't
little
we
bit.
argue that she should have been higher on that list of who
Yeah.
were like the top best Disney villains?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would think, massacring a bunch of puppies would put you pretty high on that list.
But she was weirdly low, I remember that.
Yeah. Moving on, we got my first underrated pick, The Sword and the Stone.
Yes.
I adore this movie.
So do I. Archimedes is like the main reason I love that movie so much, but there's other reasons, but Archimedes to me sold it.
Archimedes is amazing.
Yeah, it's
I wanted a pet owl for the longest time because of Archimedes. I mean, I know there's kids today who want a pet owl because of Harry Potter. I'm like, no! Archimedes came first.
Yes. Oh, man.
It's a classic story. This is a fairy tale without princesses and some really great characters. And it was actually the last film Walt Disney was able to see before he passed.
Yep, because the next movie was the last one he worked on, which is The Jungle Book. One of my favorite top Disney movies of all time. Great songs, great characters. It gave us Tailspin.
Yes, yes.
It's such a lively movie. It's great.
Can I just say thank you for giving me the intro for King Louis because I loved King Louis.
King Louis is amazing.
I loved him so much.
Okay, and Christopher Walken voicing King Louis in the live-action one was...
Oh my God! Please tell me you heard him sing the song.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It was that was the most beautiful thing I have heard. I swear to.
I agree.
Ooh, I wanna be like you.
I was disappointed with their rendition of Bare Necessities, but I do love the Bare Necessities song.
I heard the four vultures, I guess they were originally supposed to be voiced by the Beatles.
Yep.
Which is why they have that weird Cockney accent, but I guess they couldn't work that into their schedule or something.
Yeah, so they just hired randos to voice them.
I could believe it because didn't one of the vultures have one of the Beatles haircut? It was a beautiful cut.
Yes, he did. And they all had vaguely Cockney accents, not Cockney, South.
Yeah.
I love the ending of this movie, and it ends with Mowgli, falling in love and following this girl. And it's, typical of what we've seen from the Disney male characters in previous films. But this girl is portrayed as a bit cunning. And, it's just that was very cool.
Women getting what they want.
Yes.
I actually felt bad for Baloo. He's like, no, Mowgli.
Yeah.
Right,
Bro, come on, man.
Right, so then, is it also saying the reverse, man isn't complete without woman, or, man cannot live on jungle alone?
Both? Both.
Well, he obviously returns back at some point. They made a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Baloo doesn't really have to worry about that too much, because he got kicked Cloud Kicker, so,
Yep.
He's good.
Yeah, he got a sweet-ass job and running from Don Corleone. Carnage, Don Carnage.
I was like, whoa, hang on, did I miss an episode of Tailspin?
Yes. Yeah, there's a whole subplot with the Godfather. It gets messy at the end.
I
But
love Don Carnage so much.
he had a great voice. But moving on from the Jungle Book, we have the only song people know from that. Everyone Wants to Be a Cat, the Aristocats.
I have nothing to say about this movie.
Yeah, it's
This is
forgettable.
one of Disney movies. I never saw it.
It's a forgettable movie.
All right,
Honestly,
so
like,
So maybe you did see it, but you forgot.
I remember seeing clips of it. I remember I used to watch the Disney's House of Mouse, and they would reference the Aristocats a lot, like they were like the band that would play on stage. That's it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is relatively forgettable.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have, probably one of the most blatant examples of racism.
The Chinese cat, yep.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Moving on, we got the second best Robin Hood movie ever made.
Second best.
Because the first best is with Errol Flynn in the 30s, and the third best would have to be Men in Tights.
Yes, okay.
But I love Disney's Robin Hood. There's not a song in this movie I hate. I love this movie. The great characters. Another Baloo voice because it's the same guy.
Yes.
Was Ka the same voice actor in this one too?
Yes.
Yes.
Cause I always thought, because when I saw that, when I watched that movie, I always thought, oh, Baloo and Ka got new gigs. They even reuse like the same, and they reuse animation dance scenes. It like one of them was like, it's like with, I think it was like with Robin Hood dancing with Maid Marian. They reused it from another Disney movie.
Yeah,
From Snow White.
Yep.
Yes. And then you have Baloo doing the exact same, shaking the head, has that weird look for a second kind of thing.
Yeah. I think when Little John is dancing with the nurse chicken there.
Well, oh my God, what was her name? Because
Lady Cluck.
She was one of my favorite characters in that movie when she practically football rams through the frickin' rhinos.
I don't remember her name.
It's Lady Cluck.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Basically, the greatest wingman ever.
Yes. But I think when those two are dancing, I think it's the line art from Baloo and King Louie during the his song there, I Want to Be Like You. So I think that's...
I thought it was either from Snow White or Sleeping Beauty.
No, that's when they're in the forest, and that's Marion and Robin Hood dancing.
That's the scene I was thinking of.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on Robin Hood?
Yeah, I've just noticed a lot of my male friends consider this their favorite Disney movie, and in looking at all these movies in context so far, this is the first male, albeit animal/fox character, that boys can really get behind. Like, Robin Hood has a larger goal than just getting a girl. He's smart, funny, and pretty badass, so, yeah.
And it was... a really good hero for people to look up to. Unlike our next movie, which is just... I have Christmas ornaments from it. I remember the myth of the naked lady in the window. It's The Rescuers.
Yep.
That's all it...
The one with the little mice.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
This basically think before Chippendale Rescue.
Yep.
I can't even remember the last time I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, basically, I remember Scuttle. I basically Scuttle from Little Mermaid was in this movie.
Wasn't he the
He was their pilot. He was the rescuer's pilot that got them to, I think it was the Bayou.
the Bayou? Yeah, because there was the because the little girl with the whole gem thing.
It was so creepy. The main woman's like her little henchman guy, her assistant. he looked just like one of my art. He looked like one of my art teachers from Ringling, and every time I saw my art teacher, I immediately thought of the Rescuers.
Oh god.
No, he looked like him exactly. It was creepy. If they ever make a live-action freaking Rescuers, I'm calling my teacher.
And now we have my most hated movie that Disney has ever put out. The Fox and the Hound. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. It's nothing but a gut punch. There's no happy ending. There's no happiness. It's just a series of down notes, sort of like Clerks 2.
All I remember is the sad parts, really, from this movie. I still to this day, I remember that scene where the old woman had to abandon the fox.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That whole scene,
So
licking her
sad.
face, taking away the collar, driving off.
Oh.
So, do you only hate this movie because it made you so sad?
That too, yeah.
It makes her sad.
No, I hate this movie just because it's like, you want to be friends, but you can't because life sucks, and it's like,
Racism, right?
I know.
It says a lot about race relations. Like that innocent childhood friendship, they don't see those complications. And if only the world could be that simple, it would be beautiful.
Yeah. Alright, next up we have a movie I never really saw. Kind of want to go back to it now, The Black Cauldron.
I actually read the book that it was based off of, and it's part of a series. The Black Cauldron, I think, was like part 2 of this series, and like I don't know why they based off part 2. I guess because there was more to it, but I actually kind of enjoyed the movie for what it was. There were some weird moments, but if you read, I guess, like I said, read the books, maybe it makes a little more sense. I didn't. It's nothing special. Even if I watch it now, I don't think it's like an amazing Disney movie. I just think it was okay.
Yeah, it's like just there.
I thought that was the same thing as the Knights of, what was that? The Knights of the Round Table or whatever. I thought it was the same movie. Oops.
Yeah, it's a movie that came out. That was it.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Although, to be fair, it is why the Disney Renaissance happened. You know, because apparently, I guess, opening weekend, it ended up losing. It lost out to the Care Bears movie.
What?
Yeah, really. It lost out to the Care Bears movie.
That's a slap in the face.
Yeah, the Care Bears movie made more money than Black Cauldron did.
I probably helped with that. I think I actually saw the Care Bears movie in theaters.
Okay, I have an important question. Was it the first Care Bears movie or the second Care Bears movie?
The first one.
Okay, I can maybe kind of understand that. The second one I remember seeing, and that was just stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, though, I mean, this is like 1985, so like the Care Bears were more of the zeitgeist at the time, anyway.
Oh no, I remember they were pretty big. I remember a number of people I knew back then actually had the giant Care Bear plushies.
Okay.
That was like a little bit before my time, but I did have one growing up.
I only remember the name of... I remember when Disney actually had the TV show, the animated series.
Oh, yes. In here, yes.
It's on like early in the morning. By the way, I don't know, like, I always got the impression from the Black Cauldron that, I forget their names, but the main girl and the main guy, I feel like they were the templates for the princess and that other dude in Gummy Bears.
I could see that, yep.
Oh, I
Really
love that. I honestly love that cartoon. Someone actually was able to record all the episodes and burnt them on a DVD, and then I got them.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Alright, moving on, we have another one of my favorite underrated movies, The Great Mouse Detective. Radigan played by Vincent Price. Yes.
Cosplay this year for me, Basil Baker Street will be posting so many pictures on my Instagram.
And
A
Deej,
little plug for Deej over there.
No, listen, when I cosplay, one of the rules that me and my friends go by is when you cosplay, you either go all out or you go home, and I plan to go all out with Basil.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's the rule for cosplay, but go ahead.
And did you know the song World's Greatest Criminal Mind, the lyrics of The Widows and the Orphan You Drowned were removed for kids in the last 14 years?
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
So in every version now, there's no longer that lyric.
Huh.
Well, I can understand that because they did that with another Disney movie. I know we're definitely going to mention.
Yep. But I love Great Mouse Detective. The only way I would play a Kingdom Hearts game is if they made Radigan a boss.
It would never happen. As much as I would love to see it, it would never happen. Great Mouse Detective is. I was gonna say it's not well known, or it's not as known as the other bigger names.
Yeah.
Really, sadly, which again goes to what I'm saying. How I think Great Mouse Detective is criminally underrated.
Oh, totally
very
is.
underrated. By the way, I don't know. Have any of you seen An American Tail?
Yes.
Of course.
I have this headcanon that The Great Mouse Detective and American Tail take place in the same universe.
Legit.
I think that was one of the few series that I actually liked the sequel more than the first movie.
Really?
I actually liked Five-O Goes West more than the original.
Honestly, I think the original one is a lot better than Five-O Goes West, in my opinion.
Oh, it's still a good movie. I just liked Five-O Goes West a little more.
Yeah. Well, the art direction was a lot better.
That was made by Don Bluth, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Well, the first one was. The second one, was done by, Spielberg, because I know his art department, his art studio.
Yep, it was. Yeah, it was. Yep. Okay, then we have the movie that happened. The only thing that come out of it was its soundtrack, Oliver and Company.
Oh my god! Another one of my favorite Disney movie songs is on there.
Why should I worry? Why should I care?
Why should I worry? Come on, why should I worry? Love that song.
Tina Deej.
I may not have a dime. Oh, I got streets. I love that song.
Billy Joel, man, you can't go wrong.
Absolutely not.
No.
First time I saw that movie was actually in chorus class back in elementary school.
Oh, I think I can't remember the first time I saw it, but I wanted a Oliver plushie forever. Literally forever. And when did I go? I went to Disney World in 97, and I searched desperately for one, and I could never find one.
Oh.
I was so upset.
Alright, moving on, we have another one of my favorite underrated movies, The Great Mouse Detective.
Yes.
Radigan played by Vincent Price. Yes.
Cosplay this year for me, Basil Baker Street will be posting so many pictures on my Instagram.
And did
A
you...
little plug for Deej over there.
No, listen, when I cosplay, one of the rules that me and my friends go by is when you cosplay, you either go all out or you go home, and I plan to go all out with Basil.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's the rule for cosplay, but go ahead.
And did you know the song World's Greatest Criminal Mind, the lyrics of The Widows and the Orphan You Drowned were removed for kids in the last 14 years?
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
So in every version now, there's no longer that lyric.
Huh.
Well, I can understand that because they did that with another Disney movie. I know we're definitely going to mention.
Yep. I love Great Mouse Detective. The only way I would play a Kingdom Hearts game is if they made Radigan a boss.
It would never happen. As much as I would love to see it, it would never happen. Great Mouse Detective is. I was gonna say it's not well known, or it's not as known as the other bigger names.
Yeah.
Really, sadly, which again goes to what I'm saying. How I think Great Mouse Detective is criminally underrated.
Oh, totally
very
is.
underrated. Like, which by the way, I don't know. Have any of you seen An American Tail?
Yes.
Of course.
Like, I have this headcanon that The Great Mouse Detective and American Tail take place in the same universe.
Legit.
I think that was one of the few series that I actually liked the sequel more than the first movie.
Really?
I actually liked Five-O Goes West more than the original.
You know, honestly, I think the original one is a lot better than Five-O Goes West, in my opinion.
Oh, it's still a good movie. I just liked Five-O Goes West a little more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the art direction was a lot better.
That was made by Don Bluth, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Well, the first one was. The second one, I think, was done by, I think, Spielberg, or because I know his art department, his art studio.
Yep, it was. Yeah, it was. Yep. Okay, then we have the movie that that happened. The only thing that came out of it was its soundtrack, Oliver and Company.
Oh my god! Another one of my favorite Disney movie songs is on there.
Why should I worry? Why should I care?
Why should I worry? Come on, why should I worry? Love that song.
Tina Deej.
I may not have a dime. Oh, I got streets. I love that song.
Billy Joel, man, you can't go wrong.
Absolutely not.
No.
First time I saw that movie was actually in chorus class back in elementary school.
Oh, you know, I think I can't remember the first time I saw it, but I wanted a Oliver plushie forever, like literally forever. And there is, when did I go? I went to Disney World in like '97, and I searched desperately for one, and I could never find one.
Oh.
I was so upset.
Any thoughts on Oliver and Company? Last thoughts?
Decent movie, but I thought it had a really damn good song.
Yes, same.
Now we get into the big time. Well, starting with the big time movies, we got Little Mermaid.
I have things to say.
Okay, I mean, yeah, Ursula's awesome. I'm a fan of the Disney movie Descendants, so I love Ursula's kid, Uzma. Also, fun fact, when screen testing the movie for kids, they wanted to cut part of your world, but Alan Menken, the guy who created it, just said, no, this has to stay in.
It was Little Mermaid for the longest time when I was younger. That was my favorite Disney movie, and it was probably also the reason why I was attracted to redheads for a long time. Oh. I'm being honest. I have a new favorite Disney movie. But however, Ursula is still my favorite Disney villain.
Yes. And I love the Jonas Brothers version of Poor Unfortunate Souls. It's actually really good if you hear it.
Rick, stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
but
go ahead.
I absolutely hate The Little Mermaid. She is a thirsty, thirsty girl. She's very thirsty. And then Ursula is just such a conniving asshole, which, I mean, I think Ariel was supposed to be like 16 at the time, so she definitely took advantage of her, which was super smart of Ursula. But I just feel like Ariel was like so thirsty in the movie.
Oh, she was.
And it's just, I don't know. There's just so much wrong with it, and the backstory is creepy, and the whole thing, I just hate it. I hate it.
I'm gonna give her my voice for a vagina.
What, exactly. Like, what?
But to be fair, when you were 16, would you have done something like that?
For a dude you just met? No.
Oh, but that's part of it is the dude is like, fuck her, because it's like she doesn't have the voice, and he goes and marries the kid who does have the voice, and it was just like, he's only there for the freaking voice, guys.
Well, that's why you really hate the prince in the original story.
What was the actual? I know the original story was like really, really bad, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
The story was pretty much the same as Little Mermaid, except Ursula wasn't even called Ursula. She was just a sea witch, and she didn't have no secret scheme. She didn't have no secret plan to helping the mermaid get legs. She just said, "Okay, give me your voice. I'll give you legs, but you're gonna be in major pain when you walk, and if you don't get the prince's love, you're gonna die and turn to sea foam." And she couldn't talk, so the prince thought this nun girl who found him on the beach, he thought that was the girl who saved her. He ends up marrying her, and the mermaid at one point does have a way to go back to being a mermaid because her sisters sacrificed all their hair to the sea witch and they said, like, if you plunge this knife into his heart, you can become a mermaid again. She can't do it, and she just lets herself die and becomes sea foam.
Oh, wow.
And speaking of the whole family thing, she turns her back on her whole entire family, just like, fuck you guys, I like this guy.
Okay, but also her parent was not supportive of her dreams and was really, like, punished her for really just anything that she desired. So he could have, like, talked it out with her, gently did her.
He wrecked all her shit.
Exactly. So of course she's gonna rebel.
But
listen,
her dream was to go on.
With Ariel. That's when I sided with Ariel. I was like, you know what? I don't blame you for. You know, here's what makes me laugh. There's this one plot hole that I never understood in Little Mermaid. So the Little Mermaid is Ariel's about to get legs. Essentially, she's about to become human. She gets the legs and transforms while she's under the sea, and at this point she can barely swim and she's about to drown. Wouldn't Ursula have wanted her to transform closer up to the surface? Because, like, this is hinging on her plan. If Ariel died right there, her whole plan goes to shit.
Yep. Never thought of that till now.
But for Ariel's dad's sake, Ariel was trying to go up on the land where they weren't really welcomed, so he kind of had a reason to be a dick about it.
We find out kind of one of the main reasons why he hates the humans in the prequel.
What's that?
In the prequel, we find out that one of the ships, I think it was a pirate ship or just a regular ship, it literally smushes Ariel's mom.
Wow.
Well, that's a good reason to hate humans.
Yeah.
So the dad was probably scared that Ariel was going to get smushed too. He kind of had a reason to be a dick.
He did not have to do it that way. He could have talked to her. This is not a good parent example.
Ariel, watch out for boats.
He's also a dad. Dads don't always, dads are dads when you have like 1 million daughters.
Right, okay, that's totally fair. But what I do appreciate about The Little Mermaid, Ariel is very thirsty, I totally agree with you. But she at least knows exactly what she wants, and she totally saves him too, which is the first time we're seeing that dynamic. So, she is going for her dreams just happen to be a little, just not. Oh, also we were talking a little bit about racist stuff. Sebastian, the Rastafarian crab with very large lips. I took a race relations class in college, and I remember the professor saying she took her kids out of the movie theater when she realized what Sebastian was representing, on her kids to be exposed even to that partially mass stereotyping. And I was like, wow, I did not even notice that.
Me neither, until you say it now.
Right? It's just like eye-opening, and that's just white privilege. I didn't have to think about that, but yeah, that's pretty blatant.
And leaving The Little Mermaid, we got a kind of underrated, missing movie from the Disney canon, DuckTales, The Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
You know what breaks my heart about this movie was apparently because it did so like bad in the box office. It's the reason we never got any other Disney movies like from the TV shows. Like the next one would have been Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and that was one of my favorite shows growing up. I would have killed to see that, but because DuckTales did bad, it kind of scared Disney away from bringing the other shows like that, like Chippendale or even Darkwing Duck to the theaters. But I actually really liked DuckTales the movie. I love the show.
Oh, I did too.
I love the new current series that's out now. I actually think David Tennant's doing a great job as Scrooge.
Oh, he is.
But no one can ever top the late Alan Young,
Yep.
who is also in Great Mouse Detective.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I really liked it. I loved Rip Taylor as the genie.
Yes.
And Christopher Lloyd as the evil sorcerer. Like there's so many things I love about.
Oh yeah, he was in that movie. Because I did see it in theaters. I love it, but I've never gone back to it.
If you watch the trailer, the opening to the new DuckTales series, in one of the beginnings, you see one of the scorpions from the DuckTales movie.
Oh, right on. Okay, moving.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We got what begins the new era of Disney, Beauty and the Beast. I'll bring this up in The Lion King later on, but I grew to enjoy this movie. I was in middle school play of this movie. I still own it on VHS. I was one of the townspeople from there. But after the play, there were backstage shit like interviews, rehearsal footage, and randomly I show up just looking at the camera, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because like before I went to the play, I was watching Looney Tunes, and on camera I say, "I am Rick Flood Millionaire. I am a merchant with a yacht." I don't know why I said that. Maybe because I just wanted to fuck with people. But
No, that sounds like something you would do.
yeah, it is. But I enjoy this movie. I said it in our Disney villains thing. Gaston is a hero. The Beast is the villain.
I mean, if you like toxic masculinity.
Also, hold on. The lyric when they're doing the mob song, "Screw your courage to the sticking place." What does that mean? I've never understood that lyric.
What does it sound like it means, Rick?
I have no idea.
Say it again?
Screw your courage to the sticking place.
It sounds like it's just like, get your bravery intact.
I'll get your shit together?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alright, what's everyone's thoughts on Beauty and the Beast?
Can we just acknowledge that the dresser killed a person in that movie?
A person as a dresser at that moment. So, yeah.
It's true. Also, is anybody bothered by the implication that, like, Chip has a part of his head missing?
Yes.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Like when he becomes human, he should have had like a piece of his brain showing or something.
Or
Yeah.
maybe it was just like a chipped tooth.
Or I thought maybe that was like he had a special, like he may have been like autistic in some form of it.
Well, I mean, when was the curse? Like, they were cursed for 10 years, and how old was he when he was cursed? Because he looks pretty young when he comes back to life.
I barely remember. I just remember that there was a sequel apparently to Beauty and the Beast. And
Yeah, and they're still...
And my first thought was, what, did the Beast fucking piss off the man or whatever?
Yeah, because they're still all animals. It's like, what is it? It's an in-between episode.
Okay, that makes more sense, because I remember seeing, it's like, what do you do? How do you get cursed again?
This is the cutscene in between when Belle actually leaves to go get her father again and winter, because they just end up in the winter and then, like, you're here.
So I appreciate that Belle doesn't just settle for the first guy who sings to her. That was a neat change. Even though Gaston does have a really good song, and so
Because he's raving.
yeah. But that song, so like before the internet where you could just look up lyrics, my younger brother and I would we played the movie and then stopped it and wrote down the lyrics and then played it and stopped it. And
Nice.
because we wanted to be able to sing the whole song, because we just thought it was hilarious. We still sing it when we're on long drives together. I'm LeFou, so I know all the words to that song.
Nice.
So are we going to bring up the fact that Beast held her captive and that the reason why she didn't leave was probably Stockholm
Syndrome? Yeah, exactly. And that's why the Beast is the villain.
So she makes a strong sacrifice of love for her father, which is for family, instead of just for lust for a man, which we've seen from other princesses. And this is, it's pretty clear in the movie this is like an accidental love that grows, and we actually see a longer development of a relationship between the two characters. Where other movies, it's just the development is one song, maybe falling in love after 2 seconds. But this is at least over the course of one day and multiple songs that we see, them going to, clearly not liking each other, to, this development. So I don't know if I can get behind the whole Stockholm syndrome.
Well, it's an accidental love because she was kind of forced into it. He definitely held her hostage for at least a little bit.
She went into that, for her father. She sort of, sacrificed herself for her father's sake. And he let her go when her father was in need. And ultimately, it was her choice to come back. So,
which is the pure definition of Stockholm Syndrome, unfortunately.
No, I made the same argument on an earlier podcast. I said he did technically let her go, and then this was brought back to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a theory. It definitely was Stockholm Syndrome. It's just weird that, why wouldn't she go see her dad? Why would she pick a Beast over her dad? It just seems very weird.
Wait, what do you mean she didn't go see her dad?
Because she doesn't end up going to help him. Or does she? I thought she ended up staying...
No, she goes to help him, and that's how the townspeople find out about the Beast.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes, didn't she show them all in the mirror?
Yes.
Yeah, so she wouldn't have even gone back to the Beast if it weren't for Gaston wanting to kill him.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think that's circumstantial. I see your point, but I guess I just feel like I relate a lot to Belle. I had brown hair, loved books, and I'm a little quirky, so I don't want to believe that that's what was happening there.
Okay, and moving on from Beauty and the Beast, if we're done, we get Aladdin.
Yep. This was the other Disney movie I mentioned where at the very beginning I took a class in art school. It was one of those mandatory classes I take where we actually studied a bunch of different religions, and we got to the point where we talked about Islam, and my teacher shows one of the original openings to Aladdin where they had a line at the beginning where it's where these thieves will cut your throat. They're basically talking about Islamic people, and then of course later on Disney had to remove that line out of the song.
Where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face.
Yes, that was the line.
Yes. Oh man. In retrospect, it's interesting that we have it now. It's very problematic.
Well, we're getting a remake, so.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, Will Smith is the genie.
I could see that.
I don't know if anyone here is a fan of Broadway plays, but I highly recommend you go see the Broadway play of Aladdin because it was actually really good.
Nice.
I feel like they do a good job with the Broadway versions of Disney movies.
I never saw the Lion King Broadway play.
Oh, I really got to see that.
I don't really get out as much, but especially to New York City. But when I do, well, I will try to see certain shows. Like I got to see the Puffs. I definitely saw Aladdin. I definitely saw like even Matilda.
Nice.
My friend is trying to force me to go see another play by Disney, which I refuse. But we'll get to that because I have a lot of anger towards it.
Okay.
Okay, you're hyping this up a lot. Now I'm really curious.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
So I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
So, like, how old do you think the genie is? Because, like, he mentions in, when him, like, right after he gets...
He says 10,000 years old. It's such a crick in the neck.
Like, how... Like, I mean, if we're assuming that Aladdin is taking place, you figure sometime between, what, the 8th century to, like, 14th century, maybe? So you figure this is, like 9,000 BC, roughly? Like, how did he even get in there? Because, like, people, like, this is almost, like, pre-agricultural revolution. So, like, how did he even get in there?
You're overthinking it too much.
Magic.
A wizard did it.
Answer. Magic.
Another genie tricked him.
Yeah.
Just like how they tricked Jafar.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's how I view it. Is like if only another genie did it.
Okay, but how does he know? Like, he does. I mean, obviously you can say it's Robin Williams just doing ablating, but how does he know all this, like,
Pop culture stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did the two-headed dragons from Quest for Camelot know the pop culture shit?
Because they were ripping off the genie.
Points!
Oh my gosh. But Robin Williams was amazing as the genie, and the songs are really great in Aladdin.
Wasn't there controversy with Robin Williams and the genie?
Yeah, it was like they couldn't nominate it for best screenplay because Robin Williams basically did his own dialogue, so they couldn't put it up for an Academy Award.
I thought it was mainly because Robin Williams made it clear with Disney he didn't want them to
Overuse him, yeah.
overuse the genie when it came to publication or like advertising and such, or even there was also something about the merchandise and all that jazz.
Yeah, there was something.
And that was the main reason why he refused to do the sequel. Or the first sequel, I should say.
Sorry, can we just say Jasmine is just finally a female who is not just some prize to be won? I love that line.
Yeah,
I love Jazz. Oh, I love Jasmine when it comes to like the heroines of Disney.
Yeah, I love her too. She's actually my favorite Disney princess.
Mm-hmm. And she totally catches when Aladdin's lying to her.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Perceptive, so I appreciate that about her.
she's very perceptive, and she has her own dreams and stuff, and it's like, oh hey, I'm gonna go out and see the world and wander around the
bazaar until my hand almost cut off.
yeah.
And now we have the movie, which is just like the other movie I talked about, the other reason Hot Topic stays in business, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I love the movie. I thought it was really good. I liked the animation and stuff from it.
I like that movie.
I mean, I get why people enjoy it. It's not for me.
It's fair.
It's a good movie, but I feel like because it's such a monolith of goth culture, I feel like, because I actually hadn't seen it back in the day. I had only first saw it, I think, when I was in middle school, and I thought it was okay. I didn't think it warranted being this huge industry, But
The animation is definitely really cool. The songs are good, except the Oogie Oogie Boogie one really freaks me out. I don't like that one. But overall, like if you think about the message of the movie, it's kind of saying like whatever, gifts you're given, whatever thing you're really good at, like just do that thing. Like it's okay for other people to have their things, but if this is your thing, do it and do it great.
I was really tempted to sing a bit from that song, but I already scarred you with the frickin' Siamese cat, so I'm going to be the good guy here.
You could also argue that it has a theme of anti-cultural appropriation, too. Because, you have Jack Skellington going in and, taking on Christmas, but not fully understanding, how Christmas works. And when he does that, it ends up being this whole, snafu.
I always thought, the meaning was, there's a little more to something than you think there is.
Hey, see, look at all these meanings we're pulling from this movie.
See, so actually, maybe I need to rethink my meh.
No, that was a really good point. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Okay, then, and now moving on, we got The Lion King. Just like Beauty and the Beast, in 7th grade, I was forced into another school play. It was like a bunch of Disney segments, and I remember this to the day I die. I shit you not. The whole premise was kids are coming out of the theater after just having watched the movie. I had the opening line. It was, "Boy, that was an awesome movie." Ugh.
Oh, Rick.
Then we get into this little just can't wait to be king with one of the lead guys doing it while we're in the back doing swaying motions and snapping our fingers to the background.
Is there video footage of this somewhere?
And we're not online now. This is before the
We'll
internet.
have to find it somehow.
But however, in The Lion King, they did cut a song called "The Morning Report" that is now back in the Blu-ray.
Yes, and that came from the play.
Yes, and it was cut because it was terrible.
Okay, Zazu is he's an awesome character.
It's Mr. Bean. How can you? Yes, Mr. Bean.
Oh, I should quickly mention this before we forget. Speaking of songs that were cut out, one song that got cut out of the Aladdin movie was "Proud of Your Boy." They brought it back into the play, and it's a really good song.
I'll check that out.
They actually had an entirely different persona for Jasmine originally, which I'm so glad they changed because she was just a terrible person before, and now she's great.
As a totally wait, that's not the right word. I just got a cat recently, and every time when she was really, really young, when she first started to learn how to pounce, I would just follow her around and quote Zazu at her. Saying, "No, you can't be serious, Zion, no."
That's amazing.
How many, okay, so, how many people here have pets?
Me.
Me.
Have you ever held your pet aloft?
What is that?
Yes,
like Rafiki?
Maybe once or twice. One of my dogs is a long-haired teacup chihuahua.
Oh.
I do that to other people's pets. Does that count?
Yes.
It does.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And sometimes to babies.
That's fair. Honestly, so, I feel looking back on Lion King, when I was little, I loved it, but I think it's kind of, I don't want to say it's overrated, but I feel like it has a much stronger first half than second half.
Oh, yeah.
up to the point where, like, after he, runs back into Nala, I think, I don't know what it is, it just, like, kind of meanders a little bit, or doesn't have, like, quite, like, the reach that it should have. I don't know. It just, like, just something about it doesn't sit right with me.
That's fair. I get it, yep.
It's like childhood is better than adulthood. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, and Lion King is basically the plot of Hamlet.
Yes.
So what you're saying is basically you don't like the second or the last few acts of Hamlet.
Well, no, everybody dies.
Right, exactly.
Hey, spoilers, I haven't read the book.
Did you ever look up the original ending for Lion King where Mufasa, not Mufasa, Scar was, he wasn't going to let Simba kill him, he kills himself.
Huh.
He lets himself drop into the fire.
So like every Will Smith movie ever.
Oh.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, and then Disney tried to do it again with the sequel, with that other female lion.
What's her face?
I can't remember her name.
I can't either, but I can remember Kovu.
But I remember that sequel had one of the cheesiest lines I ever saw or ever heard in my life, and the way it was played out.
You know, also, like, so here's the thing about the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kovu is Scar's adoptive son, because obviously he can't be Scar's actual son, because then you would have, you know, Simba's daughter and her cousin being a thing. But, like, when did Scar have the time to, like...
In between training hyenas to goose step.
Well, think about it. A lot of years must have went by when Simba was with Timon and Pumbaa.
Yep, that was a side story.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. Also, by the way, since you mentioned that earlier, Rick, the scene where they're goose stepping, like during Be Prepared, apparently that was based directly on a scene from Leni Riefenstahl's Triumph of the Will, which is a Nazi propaganda movie.
Because of course, Disney.
Yeah, of course. You know.
It has one of my favorite songs, Hakuna Matata, in it.
Yes.
Yes, that song is amazing.
Did you ever see the TV show?
Yeah. I watched Marsupilami way more than I watched Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh my God.
Because I'm an awful person.
At least you admit it.
Yes. Alright, moving on from the Lion King, we're into the late to mid-90s now, where I kind of stopped watching Disney altogether. We got the Goofy movie. I loved Goof Troop, but I never watched this movie. However, I am seeing like a resurgence of this because I'm seeing a lot of people cosplay this at cons, especially.
Yeah, it's suddenly becoming a huge thing now, out of complete nowhere, which makes me happy.
I know the Goofy movie was Nick's favorite movie, so... Rick, you know Nick. He's Goofy within himself, so...
True.
That makes sense.
The main singer, the one who's voiced by Tevin Campbell, was his name Powerline?
Yes.
Someone did an amazing Powerline cosplay. It was like...
I saw that, yeah.
I would, if you had told me this was done by professional, like, face-up, like, makeup artists and everything, I would have believed you. Because it was
that's awesome.
No, it was seriously that fucking good.
I love great cosplays like that people make, but, like, you think someone, like, famous made it or whatever.
Yeah,
so
it's like,
great.
Who did you hire?
Yeah, right? Like, I want to hire them.
Who did you hire, and can I have their number?
Yeah, like ASAP.
Then, moving on, we got Pocahontas, which other than Savages and Colors of the Wind, it's this American imperialism movie was not for me.
Pocahontas, you know what?
I thought it was good in the Phantasmic show.
Can I just say something? Pocahontas, like...
It's a thing.
Okay. So, like, originally, like, in history, Pocahontas was supposed to be 12.
Thank you for bringing this up.
She was 12 when she met John Smith. So, the fact that they aged her up is just really, really gross.
And didn't John Smith do some, like, really bad shit to her tribe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love the movie when I was younger. Like, this was my favorite movie, but then when I started learning the history behind it, I was just mentally scarred forever.
It's like when you actually when you learn about the author of Mary Poppins, how awful she was.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? I know, right? What?
Oh yeah, no, she was.
She adopted a kid only to bring him back.
What do you mean to bring him back? Bring him back to the orphanage?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, if you even listen to the original tapes that the movie Saving Mr. Banks was inspired by, she was a bitch.
Yeah, she was.
Like, my favorite is the interviews with the people who were there, that were actually there when they tried to make Mary Poppins. All they have is horror stories.
Oh, that's terrible.
So was the creator Pinocchio.
Are we gonna go back to Pinocchio?
No.
I'm saying a lot of Disney's original story, quote-unquote original stories, have some of the most darkest origins ever.
Alright, we're getting now into the Pixar stuff with Toy Story. I saw this like the year after it came out. I enjoyed it. No big memories for me.
Fun fact, Toy Story was the movie that made me want to become an artist.
Oh, tell us that story.
That I was a little kid. This was one of the few movies I actually remember seeing in theaters. I was a little kid. My mom used to bring me to go see a lot of the movies. And I remember seeing Toy Story, and I was watching the animation, and I thought, I want to draw that. And a few days later, my mom got me to learn how to draw a book. It was like a Disney version of how to draw Mickey Mouse, all these other Disney characters, and that's how I practiced. I was self-taught, and all my efforts flourished. I was able to get A's in art class, and then I got into Ringling College of Art and Design, and the rest is history.
Yay! That's an adorable story.
Aww.
Oh.
Follow your dreams, kids, just like what Disney says.
Yeah.
Yay!
So so thank you, Pixar.
And Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing we're talking about right now.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah.
Alright, following this movie, this next one, I've never in my life, flipping through channels and I'm saying, oh look, The Hunchback of Notre Dame's on, I guess I'll watch it. Nope.
See? Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Juno, I know how much you love this movie, but I can't.
I like it too. I don't know if it's because, the Notre Dame factor, it's, French, and I'm French, and I relate to the Frenchness of the movie. No, I don't know, but there's just something about it that I really, really like.
Other than Hellfire, it's really hit or miss with me. It's got dumb sidekicks, first of all.
Yeah, I mean, really, the gargoyles, if they were, just in Quasimodo's imagination, the whole time...
That would have been so much better.
They would be, yeah, but they're real. They're actually, doing things, because you see at the end, they're, fighting off the soldiers and stuff. So,
Which still maybe could have been in his imagination, maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe? I don't know. I mean, because, in the beginning, it's totally implied that they're just, imaginary. Mm. So, maybe. But, I mean, I get that as far as, tone goes and everything, to be fair, the fact that they even adapted Victor Hugo's, Hunchback of Notre Dame, like, in and of itself is, like, it was going to be a tricky adaptation anyway, because they, had to change so much.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit,
A little bit.
Which, by the way, I would say, in relation to stuff that they changed, I like that they actually made Esmeralda Romani, because in the original book, she and Quasimodo got switched. So she was actually just like a French girl that got kidnapped.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So it's like, oh hey, so and so it's good that, she's actually a person of color.
Yeah, no, I actually really like this movie. I thought Esmeralda was fierce and awesome, and she has a really beautiful song, Outcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. The Hellfire thing is really weird, though. There's actually a cosplayer who does, Frodo? Is that his name? Lord Frodo?
Yeah.
And Frollo, sorry. And it's a really good cosplay, and it freaks me out because she has like the Esmeralda's like scarf and yeah. I know it's really good cosplay.
Which I don't know if you guys know this, but like Hellfire, because it leads in from Heaven's Light Quasimodo song, like, and it bleeds into Hellfire, like. The chanting that's in the background of Hellfire, like the whole Latin thing, like, it's supposed to be, I forget what it's called exactly, but it's like this prayer in Catholicism for like when you like confess stuff. And so like it's kind of interesting as that in the background. And I kind of actually really like that.
Well, he is essentially confessing their sin and us.
Yeah, it's
trying
true.
to say, like, it's not my fault, it's her fault, but I can't help it. So, yeah, there is that religion arc there.
Yeah. It's not my fault I'm a bad person. Just because I have lust, it's her fault. Because I'm a good...
Right, of course, always blame the woman.
Yeah. Alright, moving on, because I'm going to wrap this up a little bit, because we're going to do a part 2 later. We got Hercules, a movie I never saw until like 3 or 4 years ago, and I highly enjoyed it.
Saw it in
Yes,
theaters,
this movie is
love it to this
everything.
day. James Woods, Hades.
Yes.
Freaking love him. Love that man to death.
Yeah.
I still wish they got James Woods to be Hades in Once Upon a Time, but what can you do?
Oh, yeah, good point. Overall, this is, like, I feel like there was a really good message about what it means to be a true hero. There is a little love story tangled in there somewhere, but still, that was a good message. And the music, so the I Won't Say I'm in Love is one of my favorite Disney songs to sing.
Oh God, I love Dan DeVito as Phil.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Rule number 99, kid, get your sword.
Quick, somebody call it. Oh wait.
That was good. Also, Roger Bart, who is a really amazing Broadway actor, does the singing voice of Hercules. So just knowing that, I'm like, oh, it's such a good song.
Alright. From Hercules, we move on to Mulan.
Woo! That is my favorite Disney movie.
Make a Man Out of You and become like a con staple now. And of course we all still have to bring up Morty. Such Morty.
Do you know how nervous I am about this live action version of Mulan?
Yeah.
It's like out of all the live action Disney movies, this one I was dreading the most because like, please don't fuck up my favorite Disney movie.
You know, the thing that bothers me about that's the most concerning, is it took them like forever to decide to have an actual like Chinese woman play Mulan.
Yep, and it's who's the girl from Agents of Shield.
No, I mean in the remake.
Oh. So we're talking about Ming Na Wei.
Dishonoring you, dishonoring your family, dishonoring your cow.
I like how Mulan was like at the beginning like a total mess in the best way, and then she just did something so badass. I love Mulan.
She took down the whole army.
Yeah.
So
You know, my favorite scene in the whole of Mulan, when they're on the mountain and she gets the cannon thing and she like shoves it into the snow and lights it with Mushu.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's shooting and he's like, "What? How could you miss? He was 3 feet in front of you." And then avalanche. Yeah.
Mushu just in general was hilarious.
What? You lied to me? What are you, a sheep? Oh, I love. There's so many things I love about that movie. Like, this was around the time I started becoming really fascinated with Chinese culture and even like Japanese culture and all that. And that was when I think that's one of the reasons why I love Mulan so much.
I liked her because she was, apart from Jasmine, I feel like she was probably one of the most like very like independent and assertive like Disney heroines.
Oh, I thought she was. No, I think she's one of the most badass heroines in all of Disney.
Yes. You know.
Like, she actually took charge. She was an awesome leader, and how she actually got the men to follow her lead even after she kind of brought shame to them, even though like no woman can join this army and all that.
Yeah, because she defied, the patriarchal societal roles and, ended up saving, a whole entire dynasty, effectively.
Yep.
And she worked her ass off to do it, too. Like,
yes.
She was so bad at the beginning, and then she worked day and night, and it was amazing.
And from Mulan, we got A Bug's Life. Just like the counterpart movie to Ants, I never saw either, so...
I saw both. I was a huge I still am a huge animation advocate, or whatever the correct word is, but I used anything that was animation I saw at the time. I would see every single anime movie, and I saw Ants. I saw both. I don't know. I don't know what I like more. I mean, like, Bug's Life was pretty cute. I loved Hopper, and then Ants was a lot more like, I guess you could say try to be more gritty.
Other than the Bug's Life giving me nightmares because it scared me, like I don't know, it scared me. I really liked the PlayStation game for Bug's Life. I want to say PlayStation. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It was. I own it.
Yeah, I devoted way too much time to that when I was a child.
Same.
Oh, there's a lot of games I devoted my time to
well,
too much
yeah,
as a kid.
But that was one of the main ones.
And now moving on to a movie I didn't even know Disney made, but I guess since they have the new TV series going, Doug's first movie.
Yeah, there was basically Disney bought Doug a long time ago, and if I am correct, if memory serves me, the original creator, wasn't really part of this new Disney series. It was, I don't know how to, I don't know.
It was just it was a whole new team, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There was even like this whole weird, there was also this whole weird contract thing where they couldn't get some, oh wait, I remember that the original voice actor for Roger Klotz, Disney would not bring him back because he was too expensive. They thought it was too expensive, so they decided to just replace him.
Huh. Oh well.
So I remember that. There was a whole thing, and I loved Doug, the Nickelodeon version. I tried watching Disney's, and I was extremely disappointed.
There's no comparison.
I have quite a funny story about the Nick version. So it was around when I was like in kindergarten, I think, and my parents like refused to let me watch it. Like it was just like I couldn't, like they wouldn't let me watch it. So one day in kindergarten when you like take a nap or whatever, so we all have our heads down and all of a sudden she turns the TV on and it's Doug. And I'm like, I raise my hand and I'm like, my mommy won't let me watch this. And I like start getting so upset because I was like, I don't want to get in trouble. And then that's how you make a whole kindergarten class hate you in 5 minutes. But looking back at it now, it's really funny. I think it's really funny because I just did not want to get in trouble. But yeah, that's my only story with Doug.
Yeah.
Wow. Did your parents ever watch Doug? Like, it was actually really good.
They were pretty strict growing up, so...
if it helps, my parents were really weird with what I was allowed to watch, what I wasn't allowed to watch. Like, when I was younger, I was not allowed to watch South Park, and obviously, and certain other shows, but I was allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy, where if you watch Ren and Stimpy now compared to the first season of South Park, Ren and Stimpy is way more fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, you can thank cocaine in his eyes.
Oh, well, I actually got to interview one of the original artists, Bob Camp.
I met him.
Oh, yeah.
I asked him, it was actually for a school project, I asked him, how did you get away with so many dirty jokes? And he told me what they did was they would put really horrible jokes in the scripts for the FCC to focus on, so the stuff that did get in the show was swept underneath the rug.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, that's fucking ingenious.
Yeah, seriously.
Moving on from Doug's first movie, we go to a movie I only know for the soundtrack. That's Tarzan.
Which, it's really weird that the soundtrack was written by just one person.
But it's such an iconic one.
It is.
It is. He just monopolized it.
I think I graduated to one of Tarzan's songs. Like we were walking off the stage to one of their songs. I think. I don't really remember, but it was definitely a Phil Collins song.
Was it You'll Be in My Heart?
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. They just wanted us all to cry.
God damn it. I'm just imagining that whole thing. I was like, motherfucker, come on.
And then, if no one else has anything more to say about Tarzan...
No, I have nothing really else to add. I mean, it was a good... I liked it. There was nothing much to it. I think I remember really loving... I remember loving Tarzan's ape friend.
Yes.
Because she was voiced by Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought she was hilarious in that movie. I liked her.
That was another video game that I spent way too much time playing, was Tarzan.
And rounding up night, we have a giant, horrible mess, which is Fantasia 2000.
See, that one is the most memorable to me, believe it or not, but mainly because, they replayed the Sorcerer's Stone, or Sorcerer's Apprentice, and then you had, right after that, you had, they did Donald Duck essentially doing Noah's Ark.
Really?
Yeah, it's basically, it's the whole, it was actually, there's a really, really cute gag, I love it. So it's Donald, and he's doing a checklist of every, 2 of each animal, and then he gets to the 2 ducks, you have 2 normal ducks walking up, and he just kind of does a quick look at the camera, like he's free, like he just kind of psychs out, and it was really good. And then there was another one, there was another different animated segment where it's like, it's taking place in the city, and it has, I thought, really cute looking animation that looked like dated back to very, very early cartoons like Chuck Jones and such. That blocky kind of animation. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that one was pretty memorable to me. If people like the original better, I can totally understand that.
So we'll end it there and pick it up another time. Deej, where do we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DJ Luongo Art. And I also have a YouTube channel called Broken Caffeinated where I do a podcast, and I'm going to be posting a lot of silly little sketches and doodles. The first one I'm be posting soon is actually going to be Disney themed, where I'm actually having a character from one of the movies we mentioned.
Nice. Alice, where do we find you?
You can find me on Facebook or Instagram at gearhead_Alice, and you can also find me at BST Cosplay, which is a little cosplay business I do over on Facebook.
Cool. Juno, where do we find you? If you want to give like your Tumblr or anything, DeviantArt.
Yeah, well, you can find me at Her Roses Never Fall at tumblr.com and AO3.com.
ROXSTARE. And we're also on Instagram as It's Like a Podcast or whatever, and Facebook as ILAPow.
Cool. And you can find me on Twitter at DefaultRic, over on my YouTube page, Retroactive1. Also at times I'm doing Let's Plays with Mike O'Reilly over on YouTube at Mental Studios 1. Contact the show at Yahoo at superfancom at yahoo.com. Follow us on Twitter at thesuperfancom. Like, subscribe, comment to us, or just tell us to go keep off the grass, you annoying kids. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Hi, Sugar.
Yeah.
I loved being princess down in this beautiful ocean blue. But mermaids are going missing, they end up in someone's stew. So just try to put yourself into somebody else's gills. You're killing my ecosystem with fishing and oil spills.
Oh no.
Thank you, BP.
Thank you.
Thank you, BP.
Thank you.
The British are killing, oil is spilling, now I can't see my eyes. China feast on flounders, fins, plus the Japanese killed all my whale friends. Oceans are browning, I think I'm drowning, thanks to BP. You suck. Hey, I'm okay, but I'm slightly scared. My husband's a mark for the war on terror. Aladdin was taken by the CIA. We're not Taliban, you've got the wrong man in Guantanamo Bay. Prince Ali, where could he be? Drowning in Wawa. Interrogation from the nation of the free. Bin Laden's taken the fall. We're not trained pilots at all. Jafar went crazy and no one put up a fuss. We're for freedom, Genie can vouch for us. Bush was crazy, Obama's lazy, Al-Qaeda's not in this country. Set free, my prince.
A whore.
This town's gone wild since I married Adam. They think I'm going straight to hell. But the charges laid on me of bestiality could wind up getting me thrown in a cell. Oh, I'm overrun by madmen. I hear they plan to burn me at the stake. They legit believe I'm Satan. And now I hear that PETA's gonna take my beast away. After John Smith traveled back to England, I helped my people cultivate the fields. More English, French, and Spaniards came to visit, and they greeted us with guns and germs and steel. They forced us into unknown lands of exile. They pillaged, raped, and left us all for dead. So now I'm far more liberal with a weapon when I separate their bodies from their heads.
White. What?
Have you ever held the entrails of an English guy or bit the beating hearts of Spanish men? Can you shoot an arrow at some French guy's eyeball? Can you paint the red colors in these men.
Adios, amigos.
I can murder if I please, 'cause I'm dying of disease. I can paint with the red colors in these men. Thanks to BP, where's Prince Ali? I've got STDs.
So what do you think of the offer?
Well, guess be a fucking moron not to join.
Yeah, you'd be a complete dumbass to turn down an offer from Father himself.
Fan of our work, huh?
You knocked the guy out in one hit. He's kind of interested in you.
I'm flattered. Well, then I got a condition before I join. A general rule I live by. I never use weapons, and I only use my fists.